monkeys are whatever the I don't even know what white is anymore according to this.
They revere Jesus as a prophet, and it's like, no.
Well, yes, you do. You also think he's a prophet, but
We don't want Muslims here. We don't want millions of Muslims here. That is not who we are. And it's because Islam is not the truth. Islam is not the truth. Jesus Christ is the truth. The Logos is the truth. Christ is the Word.
Okay, so Jesus Christ is the truth, Nick Fuentes, then admit a brown rabbi from the Middle East is the truth. The truth is a Jewish guy with olive to brown skin with curly hair is the truth. Say that. Say it. Say it. Just say it.
The Word is with God. So no, Islam is a false religion. If you are a Muslim, you are worshiping a demon.
What demon?
Okay.
Just say the demon. He's just saying like Twitter reply stuff. I don't even think he believes this. I think he's just repeating stuff. I don't even like what demon? Vishnu? Krishna? What demon? The Father? Because we pray to the God. We pray to God the same way Jesus prayed to God. What demon is he talking about? Malak? Baal? I mean, we don't pray to a man. We don't pray. We reject demons. We reject idols. Tore them down. What demon are you talking about? Did you just make one up? Can you specify?
Okay. And I know Nostra Aetate says, well, they worship the monotheistic God. They worship the Father. I don't think so.
Okay, so you disagree? Does he disagree with the church?
They're following some cult. I don't support it. I don't want it in my country. It is foreign and it isn't true. So they're trying to get you to go on that side. Oh, boo Israel. We're pro-Muslim. And the Jews are trying to do the exact opposite. And they're saying, oh, Muslims are the problem. Boo Muslims, and Jews are fine. Jews are fighting Islam. We're Judeo-Christian.
You're praying to say, okay, where's the evidence of that? What you're just saying stuff. Let me give $30 to just say stuff. Based on what? What is Satan about and what is God about? We say the Almighty Creator, the most merciful, the one true Creator, the greatest of all. People are just saying stuff and then you're praying to Satan. Okay, where's the proof? Can you back that up? Can you say something?
We're people of the book, blah, blah. And you go, no, we don't want you either. Judaism is also a false religion. That is also a false religion. You're worshiping a demon too.
Well, it's also half your religion, right? The Old Testament, it's a false religion, but it's also half of Christianity.
Your mysticism, your Chabad Lubavitch, your Lurianic Kabbalah, you're worshiping a demon too. That's also a false religion. We don't want that here either. So it's like I say, we have to take our own side, even if you're a pagan, okay? Even if you're a pagan, even if you're a non-Christian, our civilization...
Okay, you see that? You see how we just pushed? It was being a Christian versus Islam thing. Now it's a white versus Islam thing. Even if you're a pagan... So he started out by saying that Muslims worship a demon. And then he goes, demon worshippers, join with us. He said, Muslims worship a demon. Hey, pagans, idolaters, atheists, Satanists, as long as you're white, you're us. What? Muslims don't see any sort of unity with pagans, with Satanists, with atheists. It's the rejection of all that. He's like, so you're uniting pagans and atheists against Muslims? So it's everybody against Muslims?
Is Christian.
This is so ridiculous, bro.
That's our cultural language. That is our heritage. That is our moral vocabulary.
Hey, what's your numerical system, Nick? Where does the numerical system come from? Huh? It's our vocabulary, our way of writing, our physics, our university. Wait, where did this stuff come from? Oh, shit. Oh.
We are a Christian civilization. And that's the big dog, and that is what we're going with. Even if you're not a Christian, it's what it is. That's Rome, that's Neoplatonism, that's the Scholastics. That is who we are.
Yeah, Rome was predominantly pagan for almost, I think a majority of its existence. They worshipped pagan gods. They worshipped Roman gods, Greek gods, Dionysus, they weren't Christian. In fact, they rejected Jesus so much. Christian doctrine is the Roman Emperor, Pontius Pilate, ordered the execution of Jesus. The Romans were the one that it says in the Bible wanted Jesus crucified. The Pharisees applied pressure, but it was the Romans, the emperor, the ones in charge that were torturing, that were whipping him, that put him up on the cross, that put that Jew on the cross. This is our way of life. They rejected him so much, they wanted him dead. They tried to, right? So what part of the Roman Empire are you pledging allegiance to?
Contrary to Islam, contrary to Judaism, contrary to Marxism, liberalism. So, yeah, I agree. We have to take that middle path. And I'm so sick of hearing about, Islamophobia. Muslims are our closest.
Ready? So right here he's saying, I'm so tired of hearing about Islamophobia. I guarantee you he's going to continue to talk about, the attacks on whites and Christians, which is the exact same thing. We'll pay attention.
Allies. I don't think so. I'm not really about that. Because it's never a two-way street. And they come here and it's so funny. I saw this with Sneako. You notice this with Sneako? So the other day, Sneako is responding to a video of Muslims praying in the park at night.
Yeah. Okay, you know what he's going to leave out strategically? Do you know why that video went viral? It was because Nick called the guy a patriot who started harassing people, not bothering anyone praying in the park. He's going to leave that part out. He's going to say, they're praying in the park. No, it went viral because some white chud, some dude immediately is there like, oh, you guys are disrupting. Fuck you. Christ is king. Yelling and harassing at people that are quietly praying. Is it going to leave that out? Absolutely.
Some boomer goes up to them and he's trolling them and he's yelling at them.
Okay.
And Sneako goes, they're not bothering anybody.
Yeah.
No one's there. They're in the park. It's at night. They're not bothering anybody. They're just hanging out.
Okay. So is he pro, like, is he for that? Do you want people to be harassed that are praying? It's like the response from the prayer in Times Square is so funny because it's like they keep saying, and they're just standing there praying menacingly. It's a call. They're trying to dominate. They're wanting to conquer. It's literally just like praying side by side. And you know what Nick Fuentes didn't talk about? Hey, Nick, how come you didn't talk about the fact that the next day in the same exact place in Times Square, Jews not only had more people, but bought the TV ad space to broadcast the coming of the Antichrist? Why didn't you say a word about that? The next day, the Jews take over Times Square with more police, all the TV screens, chanting, "We want Mashiach now." And the Mashiach is the false Messiah. In Christian and Islamic eschatology, we believe in the same thing. The Dajjal is the Antichrist. The Antichrist is the Jewish Messiah. Why didn't you say a word about that? You have all this energy mad that people are quietly praying, standing side by side. But when there's a rave party the next day, celebrating the coming of the person who rejected Jesus, literally the antithesis to what you believe is God, you don't say a word. Muslims go there, we say, Jesus is the Messiah. Jesus is the prophet. We love and respect Jesus. Whites and Christians. Jews come the next day, celebrating the Antichrist, not a peep. It's just like the Somalis versus the Lakewood, New Jersey situation. Everybody had something to say about Somalis in Minnesota apparently opening up daycares. Lakewood, New Jersey, they're scamming. They have hospitals. They have their own police. They have their own school. They're harassing citizens. They're avoiding taxes by opening up their homes as synagogues. Very clear fraud. No one says a word. This situation is the same.
Where do you see Sneako during Ramadan? Times Square, New York, in the middle of the evening. Oh, so what happened? So first you go, leave us.
And you know why he doesn't talk about it? Because Nick's falling for the rage bait. Doom. Nick is falling for Netanyahu propaganda. Time and time again, look at the past 20, 30 years, whenever they try to get you to redirect your attention towards Muslims, it's really because the non-goys are doing something that you don't want to know about. Somali daycares, they want you to get angry about this because what's happening in Lakewood, New Jersey is far worse. It's like a Tel Aviv in Jersey. When they keep saying that Muslims are terrorists, the United States and Israel are bombing the entire Middle East. Time and time again, everything that they accuse Muslims of and they try to get you riled up about, it's what the non-goys are doing. And he's falling for it. He's falling for it. That's why you see all this talk about Muslims, not a word about the Antichrist celebration. Stop falling for it, bro. He's been doing this for a long time. He's smarter than that. You're smarter than that.
Alone, it's Islamophobia. We're not
Thanks for the sub,
bothering
Mello.
anybody. Then you're in Times Square. What's the excuse now? Now you are bothering everybody. And you know what you're doing now?
Nobody was bothered. You weren't there, so you don't know what you're talking about. Nobody was bothered. It was sanctioned off. So is it bothering people in Times Square when they're doing flips and Elmo is there asking to buy your rap album? Is that bothering? Times Square is not an open street. It's a place where people could walk around and people do things and they gather. It wasn't bothering anyone. And if you're going to go to expect to be at Times Square like, wow, I really hope I don't bump into anyone, you're a fucking idiot and you're in the wrong place. This is where people gather. This is where people are. It's where they shop. It's where they're there to be entertained. That's where they're there to see flips, to see groups, to see protests. It's like a town square. This is where people gather. I really hope nothing's happening in Times Square. Where did you think you were? Home? Stay home then. Wait, he's acting like, oh, the poor people of Times Square had to see prayer. Oh my God, the poor tourists shopping at H&M and the M&M store. They had to walk a little bit around to prayer. Then stay home. People do things.
Now you're an imposition. You're imposing that on everybody. You're in the center of our country. Times Square is the center of our great global city, of our empire city. And you are taking up space there for no other reason than to make a statement, which is we are here and we are Muslim and we are here to conquer. That is what that is about.
No. So New York is the place with the most, look at 9/11. Nick, who did 9/11? And Chad, say for a second, who did 9/11? That's the city where the height of propaganda against Muslims, you could see it everywhere. And now people are learning more. They learned that, Epstein was a Muslim, for example, and now let's change the narrative about it. There's been so much hate. There's been so many lies spread. Let's show people what we're really about. And what we're about is we're praying. And they still find a way. People like Nick are still trying to find a way to be threatened by it and to victimize themselves. You're trying to conquer us. We're literally putting our head to the floor and praying to God. You're trying to dominate us. It's literally like side by side here. This is an act of submission to God.
So the goal there is to be as conspicuous as possible. And then you go, you know what? This isn't a Muslim country. Pack it the fuck up and take it to a mosque. You're lucky we have a First Amendment. You do have freedom to practice.
You're saying this on your show. I mean, so what are you going to do about it? What are you going to... Yeah, then get the fuck out. Okay, you hate it, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? We have freedom of religion. It was sanctioned off by the police. We're there. So you don't like it. It's not breaking any law, Nick. No laws are being broken. We have the rights to be there. Okay, you want it out. What now? What now? What? And again, not a word about the Antichrist rave. About a rave party. Go see the video for yourself. You didn't see it because it's not going to be pushed by that rage bait. It's not going to be pushed by the paid shills. You're not going to talk about it. It didn't show up on his timeline. Be very aware of what's on your timeline and what's in your algorithm because it's strategic.
Your religion. Practice it in your constitutionally protected mosque. You don't see Christians doing a march with the rosary. You don't see a procession in Dubai. You don't see a procession in Mecca. Because
let's be real for a second. Look, do Catholics really gather like this? You guys meet in mega churches, right? They're doing Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk is doing a mega church. Catholics don't really. Why don't you? You guys should do it. I'd be happy. I would be happy, Nick, if you would gather, why don't you go do the Times Square, same way that we organized this prayer in Times Square. Why don't you get a bunch of Catholics and go pray in Times Square? Happy. I would not, wallahi, I would not have any problem with that. Muslims in the chat, put in me right now if you would be happy to see Catholics pray like that. But the uncomfortable truth, we know that so much of this is rhetoric now. We know that so much of Christianity in the West has just been used to garner a populist movement. That they're not really praying that way. They're not really, have you seen anybody talk about Lent? They haven't talked about Lent at all. Let's be real for a second. Ramadan is extremely important to us. It starts on the same day. I haven't seen anyone talk about Lent. I haven't seen anybody, encourage other people, have conversations about it, what they're giving up. It's just not as serious anymore. And it shouldn't be that way. I want Christians to practice their faith. If Catholics would gather like that in Times Square and pray to Mary or, eat communion, if you guys all gather and eat communion in Miami or in Times Square, go there, get a bunch of crackers and drink the blood of Christ and eat Christ's body. You guys are all there celebrating, singing hallelujah, silent night. I would love it. I would love it. But you don't. So you get mad at people who do. Don't get mad at, you hate us because they ain't us.
Christian procession in Medina or in those cities in Qum, you don't see a procession over there because it's not allowed. Christians have their area over there.
Are you mad at the founding fathers for giving us freedom of religion? Like, don't get mad at me, bro. Get mad at the founding fathers for freedom of religion.
Where they can practice, but it's not allowed everywhere. Certainly not allowed in the middle. And then you know what Sneako says when you call him out? He goes, "You're right. You're right. We are Muslim, and we did just pray in New York, and we are. So which is it?" And this is what...
So what it is that you shouldn't be harassed for praying. That's what it is. Is that really hard to comprehend? Is that people praying in an area that's legal, sanctioned by the police, it's like you're not a patriot if you disturb that. Christ is king! You know what Christians will do more commonly now? They will yell, the two examples you brought up, the prayer in Times Square, you see Christians holding up Trump flags. Christ, America! The Puerto Rican guy going, Trump, America, God bless Trump. Christ is king. And then at the Muslims praying in the park, Christ is king, Christ is king. They'll yell at Muslims more than they'll spend any time praying for their own faith. When do you see Muslims in public harassing other faiths? You don't see it. Jews spit on Christians in Israel. Muslims, we pray. Because we believe instead of wasting that time getting mad about other people and cortisol spiking over people praying, it's a better use to just use your time praying. Why don't you do that? Getting mad at us, dude, just pray yourself. But you won't. Are you mad because Muslims take their religion more seriously than you?
they do, and that is how they are. They're very crafty. At once, they play the victim. And they go, leave us alone, Islamophobia, oy vey. They literally sound like Jews. They're literally just like the Jews.
You worship a Jew. God's a Jew, according to Nick. They sound just like the Jews. Aren't you a follower of a Jew? Don't you say Jew is king? You say Jew is king. So, they sound just like the Jews. Isn't that a good thing if you worship one?
Jews. This is what the Jews do. The Jews will say, we're the victim, anti-Semitism. And like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, they say anti-Semitism is out of control.
Yeah, this false equivalency. They say anti-Semitism when you criticize Israel. We're praying in the park and then people are harassing and trying to interrupt the prayer, banging pots and pans and blowing whistles. And we're like, hey, maybe don't do that. That hatred is unnecessary. Do you see, is that the same thing for, when you say, oh wait, Israel, stop committing a genocide, it's anti-Semitism. For Muslims, it's like quiet praying. We hate you. Dude, I think people see this too. His audience is pretty smart, but this is not a good argument.
Oh, we don't feel safe in the city. And then they go, you're right, we do run the media. We're going to crush you. Just like with the Muslims.
What media do we run?
It's Bismillah, Islamophobia, everyone's attacking us. And they go, we are here, and we're in Times Square, and you can't do a fucking thing about it.
Yeah, you can.
And that's why Christians...
Because you can't do anything about it but get upset. You won't pray more. You'll just bang a pot in a pan, trying to interrupt our prayer. And you know what that does? That strengthens our deen. Being able to focus on prayer while people are actively around trying to interrupt and blowing whistles and yelling at you, being able to pray like that just makes us stronger as Muslims. So you can't do a thing about it. We have freedom of religion. The police let us do it. We're in an area where we're allowed to be. You can't do anything about it except try to break the law if that's what you want. Unless some people want to take it to the extreme. Other than that, there's nothing you're going to do. Nothing. So, look, if you want to go bang a pot and pan instead of praying yourself, you're going to keep doing that. But you know what's happening? Islam is a fast-growing religion because they see it's the most hated. They see it's the most lied about. And you know how many people around here, they had like 2 hecklers, a Puerto Rican dude and some other guy. There was a gay Jew. They try to kill Jews. They kill Jews in Muslim countries. Everybody else was spectating. They were loving it. I saw white families around. There was a mom holding her daughter, like hugging, listening to the Quran. People loved it. People had a great, they realized that I didn't know about Islam.
Need to say no more gaslighting. No more gaslighting. Raise up the cross. I want a Roman salute from everybody.
There you go. A Roman salute. The Romans ordered the execution of Jesus, Nick. This is just so stupid. Roman, like, trying to equate Romans with Christianity is just dumb. First off, Jesus wasn't a Roman. Jesus was a Jew from Galilee, which is now Palestine. He was an olive to brown-skinned man. The Roman Empire hated him. Hail Caesar! Hail Jesus! What?
Roman salute to our Caesar. A Roman salute to our church. Hail Christ. Hail Christ. Hail Caesar.
Idolatry right there. Did you hear that? Idol worship right there. Nick just said, Hail Caesar, Hail Christ. He just put Caesar in the same category as God, making that equivalent. A Roman emperor and God. What do you worship, Nick? You worship whiteness or do you worship God? Do you worship the Roman Empire or do you worship Jesus? Which one is it? You can't pick both. You can't create a new religion. I guess you can. You could try. All right, you're not going to try to make Christianity a white religion. It's just false. It's just false.
Hail Rome. Okay, this is the new Rome, bitch. And we're taking Muslims by their thobe and all their goofy shit, and we're taking Jews by their yarmulke, and we gotta flick them back out to the Middle East. Get the fuck out.
God was from the Middle East, according to you, Nick. Go back to the Middle East. Jesus was from the Middle East. This is so stupid. Go back to the Middle East. Where do you... Bro, this nigga really thinks that Jesus was from Italy. This nigga really thinks that Jesus was from Ohio wearing khakis, bro. Like, dude, Jesus was wearing sandals and a thobe, man. This guy was from Galilee. Like, he's from what is modern-day Palestine. This is so dumb. He wants Christianity to be a white religion so bad. Bro, you know... I love the guy. I love Nick too, even though we're having a disagreement here. But I mean, word of advice to him, man, it's like you got to figure out where your faith is. Do you worship the country of America? Is that why you put America first and then Christ is King in your bio? Is it because are you a patriot first before God? You got to pick one. Faith transcends everything. It's God first and everything else. God first and everything else. Not skin color, not your nation, not patriotism, nationalism. All this is worldly stuff. It's God above everything. I really want Nick to figure out where his priorities lie.
Out of here. This is a new Rome, bitch. This is a new Rome, motherfucker. Get on board or get out. Somalians, get the fuck out.
Yeah, not a word about the Jews again.
Jews, get the fuck out. Ben Shapiro, get the fuck out. Christians have to get real. Christians need to grow a pair of balls.
The Christians need to start praying, dude. Christians need to start praying again. Taking your religion seriously. Again, that would help. And that's what the unity thing I'm trying to do is about with the Lent Ramadan charity. Raise a lot of money. They gotta realize what the strategy is. It's goy versus non-goy. That's the issue. And Netanyahu right now is listening to Nick seethe about Muslims praying, and he's like, oh, he's regulating it himself. I don't even need to regulate the Muslims in Timesquare. Nick Fuentes is doing it for me. Good goy. Good goy, Nick. Keep getting mad at the praying Muslims. I was going to have to go pay other people to distract. I was going to put Mossad next time. But Nick Fuentes is doing my job for me. Get the goyim to fight each other. Good job, Nick Fuentes. Oh, this is perfect. I was going to be so expensive. And now I could give this money to the Indian dude who hates Pakistanis. Regulated. Nick Fuentes is not even regulated. He just wants the goyim to be divided. Well... You're doing a good job here.
Stop the gaslighting. I love to see it. I love to see the boomers out there in New York. Thank you, boomers. Thank you, MAGA boomers. I know you may not be based on Israel, but thank you, base boomers, for fighting for space in our fucking country. This is not a Muslim country at all. No Muslim roots here. This is a Christian country.
No, it's not. No, it's not. John, and he's about to refute it because, you know, ever since I found the Treaty of Tripoli of 1797, where John Adams, founding father, said, in fact, America's not a Christian country. They're trying to change around. Oh, it's a nation. It's not a country per se, but it's a Christian predominant nation. Ready? Let's hear code.
When Christopher Columbus came here, it was a flag with a cross on it. It was
probably a crypto Jew.
Christened for Christ. And this is a Christian nation. Don't make a mistake and think it's anything else. It always has been. How many of the colonies had a state-run church at the time of the founding? How many of the founding fathers were Christian? What was the percentage of Christians at the time of the founding?
Mostly Freemasons, right? Most of them were Protestant Freemasons, not Roman, like not Caesar worshipers or Catholics even.
Founding. Who were the settlers? They came here. The Puritans, the Catholics, the Presbyterians,
the Freemasons,
the
Freemasons.
Quakers. What religion
the
were they from?
Freemasons.
How many of them were Sunni and Shia? No, sorry, they were Quakers. They were Puritans. They were Catholics.
Freemasons. George Washington was a Freemason.
All different manner of Christian. It wasn't until hundreds of years later that you guys started coming in here. You should count yourself as lucky. And look, I don't hate Muslims. I don't hate them at all. And I'm not saying we should take away their rights. I think they should have a right to practice their religion.
Oh, so what was the whole thing about? So then we could pray in Times Square.
Have their same right as anybody else. But we need to fight for the core and the center. This is a Christian civilization, not a Muslim one. You want to go and practice your religion in your mosque, knock yourself out. But the signs are not going to be in Arabic, my friend. And you want to do your call to prayer, do it inside the mosque. Don't do it in public. And you see what's happening in Europe. This is where they're losing it. The call to prayer goes out in the United Kingdom, in the UK.
I don't hear it. I don't hear it. Would like to. I want to hear when Dhuhr prayer is. I'm right here in the middle of London right now. I don't hear it. You guys hear anything? Is there a call to prayer? It's kind of quiet. Oh. Right now, I'm in central London. It's like the center of the UK, right? You guys hear it? No.
In the land of the conquerors, the Anglo-Saxons of King Edward and Lord Nelson, you have the Muslim call to prayer, and they're so fucking dishonest. They come here and say, oh, well, John Adams said that America isn't Christian. Oh, I'm sorry, is the United Kingdom Christian? Is the United Kingdom Muslim? Is France Muslim? Is Germany? They don't care.
Okay.
This is...
Notice how he didn't refute it. He just admits John Adams, founding father, said America's not a Christian country in a real document, right? The Treaty of Tripoli. Real legislation. Just moves on. Like, at this point, man, if you're not going to admit that, and you're coping, bro.
Lying. This is Takia. This is targeted lying. You are lying. So
lying about what? What am I lying about? People keep saying Takia. Let me talk about this again. Takia, this is not the idea that Muslims can lie. All right, that's just another Netanyahu 7K talking point push that Nick fell for. Takia is the idea that if say they put a knife to your throat, or you're at the threat of death, and they say you have to say something, then you're able to lie to literally save your life at gunpoint. Then that's an acceptable time to lie. And that lying is not allowed. You're not supposed to lie ever. You're always supposed to tell the truth. But that's an example of one of the times, like say an enemy is there and they're trying to get you to confess or snitch on your friends. Then it's okay to lie. Because God is a just God. And he knows he's the most merciful and he understands situations. It's not this idea that we just lie indiscriminately. He's just making this up.
And here's the thing. They all want to say, oh, well, we're just being unfairly vilified by the Jews. And then they attack us Christians. And that I will not tolerate. You
hear that? You hear that? Why do they keep saying Islamophobia? And then they keep attacking us Christians. Us white Christians are under attack all the time. Why are you crying about Islamophobia and then you keep attacking us?
Want to attack Israel? Knock yourself out. You want to criticize the Jews? Hey, you know what? Knock yourself out. You start coming for Christians. You start coming for the West. You start coming for America. Now we got a big problem. Because I am an American and I am a Christian, and this is a Christian nation.
That's not.
So that's a bit. Don't overstay your welcome.
I was born here. Can't change that. Not a guest here, buddy. It's my country just as much as it is yours. Faith does not determine it. And you know, this rhetoric only happens if you're Muslim, according to Nick. If you're an atheist or a pagan, Nick wants to unite with you. Majority of white people in America aren't even Christian anymore. Most of them are atheists or spiritual or Eastern or whatever, yoga. Not even Christian. But he doesn't call them guests. You're overstaying your welcome if you worship the one creator. Then that makes you a guest. But nope. It's my country.
It's crazy. That really pisses me off. It's always this one struggle, and then the second they find an opportunity, they want to put the screws in and they want to twist the knife on Christians and they want to criticize the West. The West is what gave you everything that you love about America.
No, the West is what created so many of the immigrants that he's saying are populating Europe. The West is the reason that there's so many immigrants, because Trump will brag about regime change in Syria. I installed Al-Qaeda myself. Bomb Libya, Afghanistan, Iraq, bomb the entire Middle East for Israel. And then they start crying when there's immigrants that need a place to live after we just destabilize their government and ruin their country and killed 1 million people for no reason other than weapons of mass destruction, which was a lie. How do you bomb the country and then mad that there's people that, like, where did you think they were going to go? Where did you think they were going to go? Look at Gaza now and look at Gaza in 2023 before October 7th. Completely different.
Okay, everything New York was built by the West. New York is as Western as it gets.
By immigrants, New York is quite literally an immigrant city. The Dutch built a lot. The Italians built a lot. Chinatown, the Jews populated a lot of the Lower East Side. The Bronx, you have a lot of the Italians that came in. A lot of New York City was built far after the founding fathers. This came a lot of at the turn of the century. So many immigrants flooding in from different places. Tons of black people. New York City has always been it's been a multicultural place.
You love New York. You know what? You love Islam so much. Go move to Cairo. Go move to Cairo. Go move to Riyadh. Go move to Baghdad or something. Oh, you don't want to live there. I wonder why. Why don't you want to go and live there? Because it's a fucking shithole?
Because I'm an American. And these places are, like they say, it's a shithole. They try to blame it on Muslims. Well, look, you got to look at what did Western Christian civilization partnering with the Jews do? Why are these places, you're saying, oh, they're shitholes. Why did that happen? Why? There's so many great places, but he's going, oh, Cairo, this place. Why is this the way it is?
They go, oh, Western values are so corrupt and so sick. That's why y'all live in London and New York, right? Because your values are so superior? Because your backwards religion is so superior to ours?
Backwards.
Why don't you go live in Yemen? Go live in the land of the prophet. Go live in the Hejaz. Go live in Yemen.
Okay, then why don't you go live in Israel, all right? Go live in Israel.
Have a good time.
Follow Jesus.
They have minarets and they've got the call to prayer and they got all.
Go to live in Jerusalem. Go live by the U.S. Embassy in Israel.
Oh, it's great. It's great. They're doing their dances and waving swords around. Be my guest. But you know what? In this country, you love it or you leave it. You love this country, you love everything about this country, or get the fuck out. We don't need any people.
Dude, you hate so many things about this country. You're saying, Takia, dude, how many things do you absolutely hate about America? Like the frat culture, the football culture. Woo! Tailgates, America! Yeah, shotgun and beer, dude. You don't like anything you could describe about American culture, Nick hates. What is this? Now he's